I'm Trevor.
I'm Andy.
We're from BandAidSchoolOfMusic, and we're going to talk about the parts of a guitar and how they work.
Trevor and Andy show.
We're going to talk about this guitar that Andy built.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like a Les Paul. Is that the
Similar.
body?
That's right. It's flat top, and then it's got two P90 pickups in there, which I have it wired, just like you'd expect a Les Paul to be wired. There's a pickup selector switch here that selects between the bridge pickup, both pickups, or just the neck pickup. And then I've got a volume knob and a tone knob.
What is this thing? What is it? How does it work? What does it do? Why? I don't know. We're gonna find out. So let's talk pickups real quick.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose P90s?
P90s are a good middle ground between single coils like you might find on a Strat or a Telecaster and a humbucker like you might find in a Les Paul. So it's still got a lot of punch and depth to it.
Okay.
But more of the kind of single coil clarity that you lose in a humbucker.
Full disclosure, I play guitar. I know how to play the guitar, kind of. I don't really know how they work. Do you? We'll find out. Andy, explain to me, how do pickups work?
They work a little bit differently from microphones, which is why theoretically at least you shouldn't be able to talk into them the same way that you might a microphone.
Hello!
What's going on inside here is you've got magnetic pieces, these screws that you see, and around the magnet or alongside the magnet there is a thin piece of wire wrapped several thousand times in the coil, right? Which is why they're called single coils. And the ends of that wire feed to your knobs and eventually to your output jack and to your amp. So what happens is when you pluck a string and the string vibrates, it changes that magnetic field. That fluctuation in the magnetic field is sent through those wires, and that's what gives you your guitar signal.
That's scientific. How does the treble and the rhythm pickup switch come into play with that?
These pickups, you want them to vary just a little bit. If you can tell, the bridge pickup is slightly further away from the strings than the neck pickup. So a lot of times you have the bridge pickup has more coil, more wire around it, making it hotter or louder to compensate for that. And so the main difference in sound, even though the pickups are different, is not that. The difference you get in the sound is actually where the pickups are in relation to the string itself. You can hear if I pluck just kind of the low E string, this is both pickups at the same time. If I switch to the bridge pickup, it's a little bit thinner, a little bit brighter. And if I switch to the neck pickup, it's a little bit deeper. Okay. So you can hear that without any playing through an amp by just plucking the string at those different points. You can hear that difference as you get right here. So towards the bridge end of the string is a little bit brighter, and so the sound is a little bit brighter.
My question for you now is having to do with the volume knob.
Yeah, so there's a couple things going on here. So what the volume knob is a voltage divider, and to put that more plainly, is it splits the signal into percentages, and it sends a certain percentage to the ground, which nullifies the sound. So it kills some of the volume. And send some of it to your output jack. So with the volume knob, if it's all the way up, ideally it's just the pickups basically straight to your output jack. And as you roll that down, you start losing frequencies. And so it can mean a couple of things in terms of cleaning up your sound. If you're playing with distortion, the drop in input volume doesn't drive your distortion circuit as hard, so you get less distortion and a little bit of a cleaner sound. Yeah,
one of the things I love to do when I have my distortion blaring is I love to turn the tone all the way down, because I like to get that like T-Rex kind of fuzzy, warm tone, and it doesn't really have a lot of high end to it. So what is the deal with the tone? How does it kind of, the way I would describe it is it kind of muffles the sound when you turn the tone all the way down. So what's happening there? Is that similar to the volume or totally different?
It is very similar to the volume. Actually. The difference between the volume knob and the tone knob is the tone knob has a filter ahead of it. So a filter what they use in guitars is a capacitor. And depending on the size of the capacitor, it lets in more or less of the highest frequencies only. So a very small capacitor lets in only the very highest of frequencies, but a larger capacitor lets in from the top down to some lower frequencies. And so since it only lets in the higher end of the frequencies, when you turn that down, it turns the volume down only on the high frequencies.
Okay.
And so you can hear that. Here's the tone knob all the way up. And here's the tone knob all the way down. You can still hear that it's playing, but you don't have any of that high frequency information. And then of course, there's all 1 through 10 in between there. So you can dial in.
Yeah, I play guitar and I have no idea what's going on. It's fine. I know how to play the thing. I don't need to know how to build it. Just relax. Alright, so we're talking about rolling the tone down. Tone up. Tone down. Play something. Nice. Good job, Andy. This guitar sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Alright, so I hope you all learned something today. I know I did. I got an idea. How are we going to build our own guitar?
Yeah, I've got lots of parts. We can cobble one together.
Sweet. Let's go build a guitar.